Welcome to Post Game Podcast. I'm your host, June. I got my boy B Foster with me. Before I get into this show, I want to remind everyone to subscribe to Bleachers and Speakers on YouTube and make sure that you're listening. And you can find us anywhere you can hear a podcast. You can find us, just type in Post Game Podcast, FFSN, on certain platforms. Those are platforms like Spotify, YouTube Music. Wherever you can listen to a podcast, you can find us. Make sure that notification bell is on so when we drop content, you'll get an alert and download those episodes. How you doing, Foss?
I'm good. I'm excited to see some basketball. Of course, it's not the real deal McCoy, but it's been a while since we saw Detroit play. Anyways, forget everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, we've been on vacation for a little bit as far as play for our team. However, I don't want to downplay what's going on with this summer league because me and you are excited to watch a few of these players, especially the draft pick. We want to see. We'll get into all that, but there are certain players that me and you definitely have our eye on. But you know what I noticed? And I noticed Sir Thompson is not on summer league. And sometimes you have a third-year player on there, and I figured he wouldn't be. And this confirmed he is not on the summer league roster, which is pretty good news.
Yeah. I think once you get into the third year of summer league, they're usually somebody that's still trying to find their way. Of course, in a way, he is, and I'm sure last year had he been healthy and cleared for basketball, operations, he would have been on last year's summer league team, but. I mean, he's a pretty much solidified starter at this point. So there's nothing left for him to prove at this level. Now it's just a matter of honing in on, some of the improvements that he needs to make and showing that amongst the upper echelon, not with rookies and, journeymen in the G League.
I don't know if you heard, but man, I've heard some rumblings about Austin Thompson. They say he's bulked up some already. One of the things is somebody threw out some statistics. They said 86% of his shots came within the key.
Might want to put some muscle on him.
You might want to get a little buff in there. You're gonna be bumping with the big dogs, man. So that kind of explains why he would have to, get a little bulkier. One thing I worry about when it comes to that, though, he's pretty young, and he has a frame to fill out. Is I worry about quickness. When you get a little. When you gain a little muscle, even though it's muscle, you can slow down a step. But I don't think it'll slow him down too much because he was kind of frail, And then he's an athlete, so I don't think it'll slow him down, and I think it'll bode better, especially if he's listed as your backup power forward.
I think that even if it did slow him down just a tad bit, I mean, he's so much more athletic than everybody else that it wouldn't even be recognizable. But yeah, I think that it is going to make him a more viable option to get some power forward minutes because, I think that his strength more so than his height and his athletic ability, it's more so his strength that's preventing him from being legitimate as far as defensively on that end of the floor.
Yeah. So what we can do is we can go. Let's talk about the roster.
Summer League roster.
Summer League roster, because there's two people on the roster that I know of, that I actually know, and three, because there's one that's been there. He's been on the Summer League team last year, and he was a two-way player last year. You know who I'm talking about. I forget his name. I'm never good with names. But we'll go down the list and we'll talk about the Summer League team.
Okay. Do you want me to try to share it? I might be able to pull that out.
I don't know, man. Your technology be kind of shaky, baby.
It do be. We'll give it a. Yeah.
Let's try it out. For the people that's listening, you really have to subscribe to YouTube so you can see the struggles that Foster has. But this is good, Foster. All right, okay.
We Gucci. Okay.
And see you scroll. Let's see how scroll a little bit and see if it.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
Oh Lord, and there we go.
All right. So yeah. So here we go. We moving. We got some movement. So yeah, let's just run all the way down. Some of these guys, I know for a fact I don't know them. But TJ Bickerstaff, I believe there's some kin to somebody. What do you think about that?
I mean, it gotta be,
right? Yeah,
not a lot of Bickerstaffs running around in this world, bro.
Right. Playing for the Pistons at that. So yeah, it could be. It could actually be his nephew or something like that. I didn't look into it, but
well, in this case, that's his cousin. We're gonna say that.
We're gonna call him his cousin. He's some kin, but he's last played overseas somewhere. This looks like AEL. Yeah, it's got to be overseas somewhere. So we got TJ Bickerstaff. He's 6'9", so he's a forward. I would assume power forward, something like that. We got Garrison Brooks out of Mississippi State. He last played with the Timberwolves. Sincere Carey from Phoenix.
Looking shaky, baby.
Yeah, smaller guy, 6'1", 185.
Okay.
Somebody that we talked about last time, Dawson Garcia, the sharpshooting power forward, 6'11", 230. So
that's the undrafted rookie, correct?
Correct. Okay. Ron Holland. You know, we're definitely going to talk about him.
We know who that is.
Yes, we definitely know who he is. Yeah. Dennis Jenkins, who
that's the guy I was talking about.
Yeah, he's okay. That's what he was. Okay, yeah. So he did well in the G League last year. Trevor Keels, if you remember, he was on Duke a couple years ago. I want to say he was drafted by the Knicks, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not familiar.
Yeah, but he last played with the Iowa Wolves. Bobby Clement, another guy that we're pretty familiar with.
Hey, we know that guy.
Yeah, another guy that we definitely have circled on our list. Miller Kopp. Last play for the Oklahoma City Blue. Chaz Lanier, the second round pick in our sole draft selection out of Tennessee.
We know that guy.
TJ Matlock. Good show. But no. Alabama State rookie. He's another undrafted free agent. He was the one that I couldn't find much information on. So I just kind of left it at Tolu Smith, another guy that
last year.
Yes, he was here last year. He had a pretty strong year. I think he averaged a double-double last year in the G League, 17 and 13, it says. In his one appearance with the Pistons, like late in the year, he actually scored 14 points. So his point average last year was 14 points with the Detroit Pistons. So
all right.
Yeah, he's a what, center / power forward. Center, not a floor spacer, kind of a old school back to the basket guy, but somebody that could possibly get some looks. But we'll see. John Okomadu.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, another forward out of Eastern Kentucky. He played with the Crews last year, although I don't really remember him. Bryce Williams, my favorite of all the undrafted free agents.
That's out of Nebraska, right?
Out of Nebraska, correct. And last but not least, Zakai Ziegler, the small point guard out of Tennessee. He actually played with Chaz Lanier, 5'9", 170. Little fella.
This is the little fella. Well, I don't want to.
Let's not double down on little fella. I was just kidding.
That's the smaller guard who we talked about in the previous show where
struggles with shooting.
The shooting was kind of suspect.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha. Well, at least I remember them. So give it up for Foster, man. Foster had props and they worked. We were able to talk about the roster without no problems whatsoever. Now,
I will be right back. My bad.
Oh, look, see, this. I was watching the show. Go ahead, get out of here so I can talk bad about you. So I was watching. That's a nice picture of you, by the way. I was watching a show, right? And I think it had something to do with sports. And it was two people on the show. I'm watching it on YouTube. And one guy said, "Oh, I got to be right back." he said he was cramping up or something. So he leaves, and the people in the comments were slaying him. Like, oh, he's cramping, and he had to use the bathroom. It was all kinds of wild stuff. But he left mid-show and left the guy on by himself. And he pretty much ended the show because he couldn't. I don't know if the show was just about over anyway, but he wound up ending the show because he was by himself. And I thought, Foster does this all of the time. But I got you. That's what I'm here for. I have to give to Gab. I can filibuster as much as I need to. Now, from that roster, I mentioned that I knew 3 people. It wound up being 4. That 4th one being Tolu Smith. Ron Holland, knew Jenkins, and Chaz Lanier. The undrafted free agents, the undrafted rookies from this year's class, I did know. I don't know, but I knew who they were. So I was just trying to waste some time while you were going, Foster. I told a story of I was watching a podcast the other day and somebody did the same thing and he had to end the show, but I'm not like that. I'm gonna keep the show rolling.
Right.
And anyway, so let's talk about the what we expect to see out of this roster. And when I say what I expect to see, I mean as far as translating to the roster, like does any of these guys outside of Holland and Lanier have a shot to be on the sideline, Foster?
You said between besides Lanier and
Holland and Klintman. I think Klintman will be in the rotation.
Eliminating Klintman.
I think Klintman will be in the rotation this year. I do. I think he'll be on the sideline.
Yeah, I certainly hope so. I would say the closest person that would be a legitimate option is Tolu Smith, just because we are in need of some big men. I mean, I haven't seen him outside of G League, outside of the Summer League last year, which I don't have. I'm not, I don't really remember too much, but yeah, I mean, he's a legitimate big man. He had a good year last year. Obviously, he's a high floor, low ceiling guy because he's already 24 years old and hasn't cracked an NBA lineup. So, what's left for him to improve on. But yeah, I think that there is a void to be filled at the big man position that I think that we're probably going to look to find something in free agency. But if we don't, I think that he might be able to compete with I don't know. Obviously, Stewart is solidified. Duren solidified. But beyond that, he might be able to beat out Bobby Klintman.
You don't think Reed solidified?
Reed is pretty solidified. Yeah.
As far as the roster spot, is that what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
But after those 3 big men, what do you have?
Not too much.
Usually it's 4. Usually you have 4. You have a center, you have a backup center, and you have a backup. You have a power forward and a backup power forward.
So last year, it was Duren, Stewart, Reed, and Fontecchio. Holland.
Oh, your power forward was Tobias Harris.
So okay, I didn't think about it, but yeah.
But after that, who's his backup?
Holland. Right now it's either Holland or Klintman, however you want to.
And I don't think, and I'm sure Holland could do it. Today power forwards aren't that bulky anymore. They're more, spread. They're more stretch more than anything.
Yeah.
So, but Holland can't shoot.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say can't shoot, but he's not a dependable jump shooter from the outside, and we need that stretch four that can space the floor. I mean, we did see Duran, cannon a few jumpers, but we saw that the year before that. You know what I'm saying? In the offseason.
They make it look good in practice.
They make it look good in practice. I mean, remember that year when they had Stewart shooting all those threes in the offseason?
Stewart was a legitimate threat. I just think that when he became when they changed him to the backup center, they took that arsenal out of. I mean, they took that green light away. So the occasional that he took last year, he wasn't getting enough up, I don't think. But Stewart was all right.
Could he be a stretch four?
No, I don't think that he has enough. I think that he's just too limited offensively.
You got to be able to dribble. You got to be able
to get a pass.
That's not him.
That's what limited him. And then I don't think that I think he's better defending centers than he is against athletic power forwards. I think those guys would be a little bit too much for him.
He is a legitimate shot blocker. Legitimate. What do you expect to see? What do you hope to see out of Bobby Klintman? We talked about him a lot last year. We were hoping but he spent a lot of the year with a strained calf. Now, before, I used to be like, oh man, come on, man, patch that thing up and get out there. But there's been a trend of strained calves leading to Achilles tendon, tears. So
yeah.
If you got a strained calf, you might want to sit out until you're ready. But that was the case with Bobby Klintman. He didn't play most of the year. So what would you like to see out of him?
Well, the one thing that jumped out at me that I really wasn't expecting was his ability to pass and play make. So I hope to definitely see more of that. But as far as the evolution of his game, I'd like to see him be able to space the floor and protect the rim. I think that with Tobias Harris, he's obviously a serviceable defender, especially at his height. But I think that we could stand to have some more youth and more athleticism that can protect the rim as well. Obviously, we got Stewart who does a good job, but once again, he's limited in his own ways too. He's only about 6'8", 6'9", and can't jump over a phone booth. So yeah, I want to see how he's developed offensively, scoring, going and getting his own bucket. Sometimes I feel like he was a little bit overly passive in the summer league. So after having a pretty lengthy G League season after being out with the calf injury, I want to see how he's developed. And I think he's going to play in that he's going to represent his country, Sweden, in some summer after the summer league. They have like some type of international basketball play. So
that's good.
That'll be good for him because he'll get a chance to probably go against some top end talent somewhere.
Yeah. Let's take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to talk about Mr. Holland, because there's some things we saw last year that we're excited about, and there's some things we need to see this year to carry over. I'm excited about his development. So when we get back, we'll talk about Mr. Ron Holland and a couple of other players. Talk Summer League basketball. Make sure you subscribe to Bleachers to Speakers on YouTube. And if you're listening, you're going to hear some ads. And if you're watching, give us about 15 seconds. Man, I can't wait till we do more of those shows, man. We got the Michigan, the Unwaxed Michigan Uncut shows where we talk about everything. We're going to be doing some interviews on there. We're going to talk from Little League all the way up to professional sports, all Michigan stuff. Got a lot of good stuff. that's going on with those shows. So can't wait till we get into that. I did some groundwork today with that, Foster, that I'll talk to you about later. Didn't get a chance to tell you, but everything's in motion. Everything's in motion. So anyway, back to Ron Holland. Last year, we saw flashes. We saw good defense. We saw hustle. We saw enthusiasm. The beginning of the year, the shot was broke. He got better during the year, though. He got better shooting. But one thing I can say about him, he's a dog, and he's not scared of the moment. So I've always had a saying, I'd rather you shoot and miss than to be scared to shoot. And he's not shy. No, he's not shy. So, Foster, what do you hope to see from Holland in year 2?
I hope to see year 2 or summer league.
I mean, coming, summer league. I mean, I guess we can say summer league. What do you expect to see this week?
So summer league,
only 4 games, so
right? Yeah, but yeah, just from that sample size, I mean, I hope that he's taking the initiative as the number 1 option. I hope to see more confidence and more fluidity in his outside shooting, and just more confidence in his shot. And at this point, after playing an entire full year in the NBA, no games in the G League, I expect to see levels between where he's at developmentally wise and nearly everybody else that he plays against, outside of maybe your top-notch rookies that are coming into the league this year. He's played with the best of the best. He played in the playoffs, so there should be level shown between the two, and maybe some seeing if he's developed some playmaking skills. That's one thing that we didn't really see. Anytime he got the ball, he was pretty much in transition or looking for his own shot. So also seeing it if he has the ability to create, because that's gonna allot for him more minutes, is being able to be a ball handler.
Yeah, I just want to see. I know we're going to see the enthusiasm. We're going to see he is, and I didn't think about it. He is the number 1 until you mentioned it. He is the number 1 option on this year's summer league team, and I don't even expect to see him all 4 games.
Me either. I hope not. I hope that he does so well in the first couple. They're like, all right, shut him down. We'll see you in October.
That would be a good scenario. That would be a very good scenario. I also think that he needs to bulk up over the summer. I do think he needs to have, and the reason I think I say that, the DiVincenzo thing, he kind of got, he let him get under him, man. It was more to it than just strength, but he got up under him, and it was, he was at his mercy. So, we just bulk up some, because if you're going to be talking, you're gonna be talking, man. They're gonna try you, man. You bulk up a little bit, they'll think about it. You know what I'm saying? Just don't. Yeah, make them think about it, man. I think this summer is a pivotal summer for him going forward. I think he has an opportunity to get better, and he's a dog. I think he will. I think he has a chance to play more this year than he did last year. And so, let's see. We talked about Bobby. We talked about Holland. Let me see. The rookie. Let's talk about the rookie. I gave you a scenario over the phone, and remember we talked about that. But what do you expect to see out of Chastity these first? Well, I'm going to anticipate he's going to play in every game, unless he's injured. But what do you expect to see? What do you hope to see?
I hope that he is the starting. Okay, this is the starting lineup I hope to see.
Janice Jenkins at the point guard position. Chaz Lanier is the starting shooting guard. Ron Howland at the 3. Bobby Klintman at the 4. And Tolu Smith at the 5. So I hope to see Chaz Lanier work up a lather, get some shots up.
Foster, no. Media team, just doing dump that, scratch that out the recording, man.
Gotta bleep that.
Yeah, we gotta bleep that. We're not using that phrase. No. Next thing you know, you'll be saying that we need every drop. No.
See, I wasn't gonna go that far.
No lather, no drop. Okay, there's none of that here. It's all grit.
But yeah, I expected him to get a lot of shots up and give the Pistons fans what they want to see. They want to see how well he can score from the outside, and if he can, I'm hoping that he can also display his ability to be a two-way player, because if he can do that, that's gonna open up some opportunities for him. We know that scoring is what he does, but you got guys like Duncan Robinson, and you got guys that are liabilities defensively. That's gonna open up some opportunities if you're somebody that they can trust to defend their position.
I'm gonna tell you somebody else, Foster, and you may not agree, but I don't know his name, but the undrafted rookie out of Nebraska has an opportunity to make some noise. I know we don't talk about undrafted rookies, but this guy is 6'7". He was the point guard, and he can do a little of everything.
Yeah.
And that would be another person. If you pair him with Cade at times on the court, you have two big guards that can handle the rock, and they can do some. Now, he's no Cade by no. I'm not comparing him to Cade by all means. No. But I'm saying he does. His game is sort of like that. Big guard that can handle. He has an opportunity to make an impression, and I would love to see that.
Yeah, he's a guy that you should see play all 4 games, and get an opportunity. And yeah, with what we have going on right now, got a lot of scores. Definitely got a lot of scores, but I can't emphasize enough, if you can defend your position with some good size, outside of who we say outside of Ivy, everybody else that's within the rotation is 6'6" and above. So we definitely like that archetype is the big guard.
I got to take a time out and tell you about something outside of Summer League, man. And it kind of reality kicked in. I don't know if I'm reading too much into this, but Mr. Holland switched jersey numbers to number 5.
Yeah.
And that was Malik Beasley's number.
Correct.
I was sick. I said, oh, it's over.
That was definitely an eye opener. Like, yep, this is it.
It's over. It's over. It's like, yeah, there will not, and I don't see them changing the very fact that he changed his number. It tells me one or two things. It was like, okay, either this is a tribute to him, or there, and that means he's gone, or it's he's gone. This number is available. Oh, I want that number. Either way, that means to me, he won't be here. And I was kind of like, I was sick.
Yes, somebody obviously approached somebody like, hey, so
what about the number 5?
Is it too soon or? Yeah, I mean, technically,
but But somebody told me, what if he's wearing that jersey? Excuse me, for the Summer League to represent Malik, because they're cool, and they're just when he comes back, he could surrender he can change his number back.
You very well could. I didn't even think about just it being just a summer league thing. I just presumed that it would be a permanent thing. But
yeah, I assume that, but like somebody brought to my attention, maybe it's just, hey, we're thinking about you until you get through it, and when you get back, I'll switch back or something. Like maybe he's doing that in honor of Malik.
I would love to see him come back. I just don't see the fit there with everything else going on.
It seemed like the Pistons had a plan B and they executed it. And
as well as they could anyway.
Yeah, the plan B was, not expect Beasley on the roster. And I think I didn't the thing is, if you picked up Caris LeVert, right, first. And I think you picked him up because you knew you might be losing Schroeder, Dennis Schroeder, right? But then you traded for a 3-point specialist. That's when the writing was on the wall for me. Like, oh man.
Even though
they could coexist.
Well, yeah, that and the fact that it was a 1-for-1 with Fontecchio. So essentially, because Fontecchio was essentially in the rotation all of last year, it's kind of replacing one with the other. We know that Duncan Robinson will contribute much better than Fontecchio, but essentially one was for the other too.
So it would be that much better if I'm saying what if, because I know it's over. No, Malik is gone, man. I just got to let it go.
Is Caris? Well, we know that Ivy is going to play a lot of staggered minutes with the second unit, but I was thinking to myself that, like, you can't have too many guys that are just going and getting their own. Somebody's got to create.
Somebody has to create.
Yeah.
Somebody has to create.
Like Beasley would be great, another shooter out there, but somebody is going to have to come in and be. But I guess it could still be. It can still be Sasser here and there, especially if he's got the hot hand. And then Ivy is going to do that as well. And LeVert is capable, I think, in
we'll see.
In doses.
We'll see. And I hate to bring this up, but the 14-68 season that woke me up, and I don't see that happening. I see us winning 40 plus games this upcoming year as well. Nothing game changing has happened in the off season outside of losing Malik, and that's a negative. I don't see anything that's happened that will push us, to like the third or second seed. However, I think we can be better if the people on the roster improve. So it's not like we were depleted as a roster. We're a young roster. We have a young team. And if they all get better over the summer, we'll be back in the mix of things. Because you got to look at it. I think Boston takes a step back because they don't have Tatum. And I know Indiana takes a step back because they lost Miles Turner and Halliburton is out for the year. So I'm not sure of the makeup of Milwaukee. They don't look too bad on paper with the offseason moves. But you never know. So I think, Cleveland could very well be the number one seed again. They didn't lose much. They actually made a trade for the better with trading Okoro and getting Ball. So that's they got the better end of that trade. I think the Knicks, they didn't lose anyone. Actually, they gained Jordan Clarkson. So I think the Knicks will be top 3 with their roster. I think Indiana State takes a step back. I think there's opportunity for the Pistons to move up. I think Milwaukee might be they could very well take a step up.
Orlando is definitely going to.
Orlando will be top 6. Orlando is one of those teams. I think Atlanta will be scary.
Atlanta could be.
I think Atlanta and Orlando move up where Boston, Indiana take a step back a little bit, but don't sleep on Boston though. I'm not gonna sleep on Boston.
Yeah, no Porzingis, no Horford, no Tatum.
I forgot about Horford leaving.
Yeah.
Horford leaving. I forgot. Didn't he go to Golden State?
He has not picked. He has not made a selection yet.
Okay. Yeah.
He could go back to Boston. He could, but I think Boston is trying to. They're not trying to get older, and they're not trying to spend money. They're trying to take it. I think they're trying to take a little bit of a step back.
Did you see the money that Oklahoma City has shelled out on their 3?
Oh my God! Yeah, we were talking about either or, and they said, we're gonna pay them all.
$822 million between those 3.
The 3 of them, yeah. Good billion committed.
Hey, man. Hey, they said, hey, we won a championship with these 3. We're going to commit these next 5 years to these 3 and see where it goes.
Not bad.
It can be done. I mean, you're just going to
pay young,
you're going to play a luxury tax at some point, but it is what it is. If you have an owner that's making a ton of money and can afford a luxury tax, he's just gonna pay it. Keep those core. I think, and that debunked everything that I said, Foster. I said, gone are the days where you pay all these people and you just get you a Batman and a Robin. You get a Batman and a Robin, and that's all you need. You don't need that third person to pay or none of that. And they just debunked everything that I said.
They did kind of go against the grain. I mean, this team compiled a lot of draft picks and lost a lot of games for a while in order to get to that point. So they trusted their process, and it ended up working for them.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, $822 million
in one summer.
That's one summer. I tell you what, they ain't getting no free agents next year.
We got free agents at home.
Hey man, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it when it's time to pay Duren and when it's time to pay Ivy. You have the money.
And they set things up to where that they would be able to do that. You don't see us going out and spending a whole bunch of money on Miles Turner and Naz Reid and Julius Randle. We stayed from within and paid a couple veterans some little chump change or whatever. But yeah, that extension money is available. Started with Cade though.
Definitely started with Cade. Cade's already signed. They actually gave him a bonus
for all NBA.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Cuts into the salary cap though.
Hey, it is. I always said, man, like, and you've heard if you watched our show, you listened to our show, I've always said Detroit is not a hotbed for free agents. So when you get someone like a talent like Cade, you lock it down, pay him, give him you reward him for his play. I mean, you were lucky to get a number 1 pick and get this man. So when he comes here and performs, you pay him, you give him the extension, you give him the bonuses, you do whatever you need to do. So, hey, Ray Floyd says, do we keep our core? Will we be able to sign everyone? I hope so. I don't see why not. And let me ask you this, Ray, before I answer that. When you say core, who are you talking about? Is that 2 or 3 people or 4? Who's the core?
Well, we know Stewart got his extension first.
Well, his core might be different than yours, Foster.
Right. I'm just saying, yeah. So but my assumption that he's referring to Ivy, Duren, and Thompson, maybe.
Oh, he's talking about 4 of them: Cade, Ivy, 5,
And Ron.
and Ron. So
Yeah.
Cade, Ivy, Alser, Duran, Stewart, and Ron. Ray Floyd. History has told us everybody can go.
Yeah.
And that's 6 people. 6 people.
And it depends because everybody's not going to command a max contract too.
I mean, it's not about max; it's about a better
because we see that teams can afford the 3 max.
Yeah, they can afford the 3. But
Yeah.
I'm saying, let's say, for instance, I'm just gonna throw that out here. Let's say Arthur Thompson's contract is over. He's not looking for a max deal, but let's say he gets offered 5 years, $75 million from Houston to play with his brother. He might take that.
We would probably all, depending on how good he played, he's probably he probably has the highest ceiling and the most worthy of a max contract, depending on how he progresses.
What my point is, it's not about being able to afford them. It's about them making a choice to play elsewhere. Somebody else can give them just as much as we offer. If they're not restricted, if they're just flat out free agency, if they want to go and play in Miami instead of being in Detroit, that's what they're going to do if the money's right.
I think that the team that drafts them has the ability to pay the most, though, which is why they say that nobody leave, for the most part. Now they might get traded down the line, but for the most part, players do accept that max.
But you know what? This is good because all 6 players he named drafted by the Pistons. These are homegrown players.
Yeah.
This is good. That's a very good point, Foster. You can retain, you get first dibs on the players that you draft, and you can match it. Now, I guess the question is, do you match it? And then I think their play will dictate that.
Yeah, because I mean, we're still faced with: do you want to pay Ivy $20 million? Is he really worth that, or can you trade and
Well, Stewart's not going to ask for a supermax.
No. Well, Stewart's already locked up for the next 2-3 years, so we don't have to. We got him. That's why they say we overpaid him. Giving him whatever we gave him, because it was like, I think he's making like $15 million. He's making some nice change, actually.
Ray says, who are the players we must keep? Your favorites. In my opinion, you must keep Cade. You must keep Duran. You must keep Usser Thompson. That's my opinion. You must keep those 3. Got to.
Yeah.
I would like to keep Ivy. I would like to keep Stewart, but deal comes along the table that's that's pretty worthy. I'll definitely be thinking about it. But those are the players. Those 3 are the ones you have to keep. But I think first things first, we have to establish a Robin to the Batman. That has to be. We don't have that. We need a Robin.
So Stewart is locked up until 2027. We have a club option in 2027, and then he's unrestricted free agent after 2028.
Okay.
So his didn't kick in. So his new contract didn't kick in until last season, 2024. So he's making 15 million a year, 60 overall.
So
when you think about it now, that's not that much. It sounded like crazy before, but
they've been talking about giving Duran an extension early. They've been talking about that early.
Yeah.
So that Jalen Duran may get an extension this year before the season starts or sometime during the season. So, but yeah,
I think they bought in on him.
Oh, I'm sold on him. Sold on him. I am sold. There was a time where it was like, hey man, let's see what we can get for him. But this year, I mean, he was even blocking shots this year. And I was like, hey, he's one of those ones where he's off the table for me. he's not expendable at all. He's not for trade. You keep him, you keep Cade, and with the emergence of Thompson, you keep him as well. Those are my three. You answer that question, Foster? Who are the players we must keep?
Yeah, it's the same. I think that the jury is still out on Ivy. As much as I would love to say I'm 100% sold, I think that Cade Duren, Thompson, and Stu.
Yeah.
I mean, Holland, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Yeah. We'll see.
We'll definitely see. And I think time will tell. Time will tell us who's worthy and who you're willing to pay for, whether they're your favorite or whether you like them or not. You'll figure out who's worth keeping, because their demands and their play will dictate that. Ray Floyd says, y'all watching Cooper Flagg tonight? Do you think he's generational? I don't. I am probably not going to watch Cooper Flagg tonight. Damn. Not sure. We'll see. If I'm bored, I'll watch it.
Right.
But I don't think he's generational. I think he's going to be a good player. I don't think he's generational. I think he's going to be good.
Generational is such a bold term. When you think of generational, you think LeBron, of like Wemby. Yeah. Generational is kind of its own class in itself. But he's very talented, and it's very impressive that he was a number one pick in consensus. Consensus number one pick, and he moved up a grade. He's really supposed to be a freshman in college. That is impressive. But I think he's athletic, but he's not like crazy, like freakish athletic. So
no. Do you think Anthony Edwards is generational? You see how tough that is to be generational?
Right. He certainly didn't have that buzz coming out. He was kind of quiet coming out of Georgia, but he was a number one pick, and he's in this current age. I mean, he's a top 3 player. So,
but to put the generational label on him, and he's proven it's difficult.
Yeah,
that's a tough word. I think Cooper Flagg will be in. I think he'll be an all-star one day. I think he'll be a very good player, but I've said it about a few people and it didn't pan out. So we'll see. Matter of fact, I am going to watch Summer League. What time does the game start?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Ray, what time the game start? I might watch it. I wanted to binge watch this series tonight, but I guess I'll watch it. I know I'm watching the Pistons tomorrow, though.
That's a given.
Because I'm going to miss the other 3 games, I believe.
Oh, they're playing? No. They play at 8. It's the Lakers.
I hate watching the Lakers. You see Connect get down the other night?
Yeah, that don't surprise me.
I think he's going to be.
That's what I want to see from Holland. Same thing. You played with LeBron all year last year. You played with Luka all last year. You should know a thing or two, especially since he was an older guy going into the league. So that's exactly what he should be doing. But my bad, I cut your wisdom. What'd you say?
No. He should be doing that in Summer League. What he's doing, he should be doing that. Exactly. For those reasons. I agree. 100%. Well, Foster, put a bow on this and we can get out of here. Before you do that, though, I want to remind everyone to please subscribe to Bleachers and Speakers on YouTube. Make sure we're still trying to get to 300 subscribers. We're 35 short as of right now. If you're watching, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you comment on there, especially the like button. That puts us in the algorithm. So please make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you tell a friend. Share it to, if you have a Facebook page or Twitter, just hit the share button, share it to those platforms. Let the people know we're out here, man, and we appreciate you. But Foster, put a bow on this, and we'll conclude this show.
Yeah. In conclusion, as far as Summer League is concerned, we have some certain, some expectations that we talked about. But at the end of the day, Summer League is for development, for players it's not about wins and losses. It's about working on some of the things that you've been trying to, master over the summertime. So that's more so what's more so important than, the actual statistics and accolades is the development and things that they've been working on. Summer League, when you look back at the top Summer League players and some of the guys that have dropped 40, including Sasser, not to say anything about Sasser, but if you look at the guys that went like just bananas crazy in Summer League, most of them are guys that never panned out. So you don't want to get too high or too low on anything you see in Summer League. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see how some of our players have improved, and certainly the brand new guys that we don't know too much about. I want to see what they bring to the table, because this is where it all starts. Oh, yeah. Shout out to Tim Hardaway. I saw his interview with him and the other guy they got traded to Denver. He had some high praises about just the team as a whole, the city as a whole. Obviously, he's from it. He played at Michigan. He's from Ohio, but and talked about how mature Cade Cunningham is, and how he kind of talked about what it was like to play alongside Isaiah Stewart with all the chaos and fighting and stuff like that. But he said he's a gentle giant, wouldn't hurt a soul off the basketball court, but when he gets in between those lines, something clicks and got to be on go. But he said one of the best teammates he's ever had. That is high praise right there. Tim Hardaway's been playing a long time.
That is very high praise.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people that had something to say about Hardaway leaving, and I'm going to be honest, I didn't think he would be here this upcoming season. I just didn't think he would be here. And the reason being is because I thought they would go out, and I was surprised he was here this long, because I thought he was trade bait when he first got him. So, but he was very serviceable. He saved us in some games.
We needed him. Being real.
He provided the veteran leadership, and he was a locker room guy. And when he was, I think he only missed a couple games because he got injured in a game with the collision.
Yeah.
Other than that, he was pretty available and pretty healthy all year long. So shout out to him. He did a great interview. He gave the city some praise, gave the teammate. He didn't leave and crap all over the team. He just, and hopefully words like this resonates with some of the people that ever think about coming to the city of Detroit as a free agent, because as of right now, we don't get those free agents like that. So that about do it for today's show. Foster, I appreciate you for taking the time to set this thing off today. I want to remind everyone to subscribe to Bleachers to Speakers on YouTube. I didn't end the stream. That's crazy.